Hey team, it's Coach Sam here from OrangeTheory in Bromley. I hope we're all keeping well and looking forward to our workout today. I'm going to be talking us through what we're going to be doing in the session. In terms of equipment, if we have a couple of sets of heavier resistances or dumbbells and medium resistances as well, that's great. And also, if you do have a raised surface of some kind, whether it's a chair or a bench, that's also good. But if you don't have that, no problem at all. We're going to get you through the session, no problem. Coming up today, we've got some high intensity work along with some strength building too. So without further ado team, we're going to get going with our dynamic movements and get ourselves ready for the workout. For our dynamic movements, this block is going to be 5 minutes long in total, and we've got 6 exercises to complete to get us ready for our workout ahead. For our first exercise, we're going to go down to the floor. We've got our cat camel. So we're going to have our hands down on the floor directly below our shoulders. We're going to suck our spine up into that belly button. And then we're going to come down, arching that back. Coming back up, and arching back down again. We've got 30 seconds in total of that exercise. For our second exercise, we're threading the needle. So we're going to stay in that same position. We're going to take one hand underneath, reaching over to the other side. Coming up, and repeating just like that. We've got 30 seconds on both sides. For our third exercise, we've got our wide mountain climber. So we're going to be in that high plank position. We're going to take our foot up to our hand, and then we're going to come back again. Taking the other foot up to our other hand, and coming back. We've got 1 minute in total of this exercise. And for our fourth exercise, we've got our plank walkouts. So we're going to come up to our feet, lots of hand steps down into that high plank position, and then we're coming back up again. The option here, team, is going to be to find that range of motion that's comfortable for you. And we're going to be doing that for 1 minute as well. For our fifth exercise, we're going to take a lunge to the side, so our lateral lunge, punching out. Lateral lunge out, punching forwards. Again, the option is going to be just to reduce that range of motion. 1 minute of work for that exercise. We're finishing off with our seal jacks. Hands are coming out to the side, just like this. The option here, team, we can step it out and remove that jump. We've got 1 minute of this exercise. We're going to get to work, team. For our first block, we have got 6 minutes of work in total. How this block is going to work is we're going to do our first 2 exercises for 2 rounds. Once we've done those 2 rounds of our first 2 exercises, we're going to finish off with our second 2 exercises on repeat until time is called. We're going to start off with our seated torso rotation. So we're going to take that weight, if we have one. We're going to anchor our heels onto the floor. That weight's going to be by our chest. We're going to come around nice and slowly, squeezing through the core and coming around there. The option is going to be to reduce our range of motion. For our second exercise, we've got our sprinter sit-up. So we're going to come down, we're going to come up, tapping the heel of the other foot. Switching over, tapping that heel. The option here, team, is we can come up and we can tap our knee instead, or reduce that range of motion. So we've got 30 seconds of those first 2 exercises on repeat for 2 rounds, and then we will not continue on with them. Once we've done those first 2 rounds of our first 2 exercises, we're going to finish off these reps on repeat until time is called. So our first one, we've got a balanced bicep curl. So we're going to take one leg up, and we're going to do that bicep curl, taking those weights into our chest area. Coming down, nice and slowly. The option here, team, is we can just lift that foot not quite so far off the floor, or we can keep it on the floor. We're going to do 5 reps on each side, so one leg and then the other leg. We're then going to finish off with our hip hinge reverse low row. So our knuckles are going to be facing inwards, palms facing forwards into that row. Taking those arms up just like this to our chest. We've got 10 reps in total of this exercise. We're going to be on repeat until time is called. Let's get to work, team. For our second block, we've got 7.5 minutes of work in total. This is going to be an add-on block. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our first exercise, then we're going to have our recovery. So we're going to be working for 30 seconds, followed by a 15-second rest. In our second round, we're then going to add a second exercise in. So we're going to complete our first exercise, 15 seconds, second exercise. Then for our third round, we're going to go back to the beginning, adding on one more exercise, remembering that we've got our 15-second rest after each working effort. Up to 4 rounds in total. So our first exercise is going to be our pop squat. So we're going to squat down, jumping out to the side, going to the other side, coming down again. The option here, team, is when we squat down, we can remove that power and step it out instead. Once we've done that exercise, we're going to have our 15-second recovery. Our second exercise is we're going to hold that squat and we're going to be punching out just like this. Our option here, team, is to reduce that range of motion so we're not squatting down quite so deep. Our third exercise is our star jumps. So hands up to the sky, jumping outwards. The option here, team, is we can step it out just like this. And our final exercise is going to be our double crunch. So we're going to be lying on the floor, hands out above our head. We're going to come over, crunching up at the top, shoulders off the floor, and we're coming up just like this. Our option here, team, is we can keep those knees bent and reduce that range of motion. So each working block is going to be 30 seconds after each exercise. We've got 15-second recovery. Let's get to work, team. For our third block, if we do have that raised surface, we're going to be using this for this block. However, we've got some options if you don't have that, so no problem at all. Along with that, we're going to get those heavier weights out if we do have them. So we've got 6 minutes of work in this block. We've got 3 exercises and we're completing 10 reps of each exercise. And if it's a single arm work, we're doing 10 reps each side. So our first exercise, we've got a hip hinge, high row. So we've got that hip hinge pushing our bum back, keeping that back nice and rigid. Squeezing the core, we're going to row out, keep those knuckles facing forwards, coming up, just like this. The option here, teams, can be to reduce that weight or our range of motion. For our second exercise, we've got our upright row, so we're going to do that same motion again, but standing up, squeezing the glutes, up we come with those weights. The option again, team, is going to be to reduce that weight or the range of motion. And our final exercise in this block, we've got a single arm low row at an incline. So we're going to have that incline, placing a hand on it, having a nice straight body, rowing up into our body. Just like this. And then we're going to repeat on the other side. So nice rigid position, nice flat body, squeezing up and coming back down again. If you don't have that raised surface, team, we're going to do this option instead. We're going to be in that high plank position and we're going to be rowing up just exactly the same. So that nice high row, coming up, coming back down again. Having those feet wide enough so that we've got the balance of the hips. The option is going to be to take a kneeling position and we can row up exactly the same. So we've got 6 minutes of work, we've got 3 exercises and we've got 10 reps of each exercise. Let's get to it, team. For our fourth and final block, we're going to be working on our core for this section. For this block team, we're going to be working for 5 minutes. We've got 3 exercises to do, and we're going to be working for 30 seconds for each exercise. We're going to do our 3 exercises one after the other, and then we've got a 15-second recovery to complete that 3 times. For our first exercise, we're going to go into our seated knee tuck. So we're going to come down onto the floor, palms of the hands on the floor supporting us, leaning back with our shoulders, coming up, crunching into the body. The option here, team, is going to be single leg, and we can reduce that range of motion if we need to. For our second exercise, we're going to go into our forearm plank to a punch. So we're going to be holding that plank position, having our feet wide enough to support our hips, punching forwards, just like this. The option, team, we can go down onto our knees and complete the exercise exactly the same. For our third and final exercise, we've got our weighted pike. So we're going to take that weight, if we have one, we're going to take it over our head. We're going to come up, trying to touch our shins. Coming down, nice and slow. The option here, team, we can keep those knees bent, and we can come up into that crunch. So we've got those 3 exercises, then we're going to have our 15-second recovery, 3 rounds. Let's get to work, team. And we're going to recover their team for the final time. Fantastic work today. I hope we had a great workout. We're going to move on now to our flexibility block, which is going to set us up for the rest of the day and our week to make sure our bodies are fighting fit for everyday life. This block in total is going to be 4 minutes long, and we've got 5 exercises to complete. Our first stretch, team, we're going to have our overhead tricep stretch. So we're going to take our hand down our back, and then we can apply some pressure to our elbow. We're going to hold each stretch for 20 seconds, both sides. Our second stretch, we're going to do our standing chest stretch. So we're going to squeeze our shoulders back, stretching out that chest. Again, we're holding that for 20 seconds. For our third stretch, we're going to do our standing toe reach. So we're going to hinge back, keep those legs straight, coming down and trying to get as close to our toes as we can. And we're going to hold that stretch just there. And for our fourth stretch, we've got our figure of 4. So we're going to come down to the floor. We're going to take our right leg over our left thigh. We're going to have our hands under our left leg, and we're going to pull our legs into the body, feeling that stretch through our right leg. And we're going to hold that stretch for 20 seconds each leg. And for our final stretch, we're going to hold our happy baby. So we're lying on our back. We're going to bring our knees into our chest, holding at the bottom of our feet. And we're going to hold that stretch for 20 seconds. After 20 seconds, we're going to gently rotate around for another 20 seconds. Once we've completed all our stretches, team, we're good to go and smash the rest of our day, and we look forward to seeing you very soon. Take care.